vernacular languages should be having their place, because the people who don't know the legal technicalities, they have to be benefited if these legal proceedings are in vernacular language, then only common man will understand, and the judiciary will dispose many cases rapidly. It is my humble opinion. If there is any question, I can interact with you, I can say something to the best of my ability and knowledge. I am very much thankful to you, sir, for inviting me. Namaskar, sir. Namaskar.
Thank you very much, sir, for all your observations. Very important observations, and also basically, kind of proposing couple of suggestions and solutions also. Thank you very much for these interventions. I believe, is there any questions for him? No?
We'll send an email.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for your valuable time.
Namaskar, namaskar.
Have a nice day.
Namaskar, thankful.
Thank you.
That no one is there. Okay.
Subhash Sani.
He has already yesterday.
Subhash Sani from Kurukshetra.
No, he is not in the year list.
Company Jagdish.
Yeah, but right now nobody is online. Okay, shall we? Huh? Yaru? Our going phone madi. Okay. No, we have so we have to move forward. Yeah, we have all who are present here. Okay. Avrunu wait madad bedva. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So, like, of course, there are a couple of friends, but because of the online connectivity and internet connections, we could not reach them. So we are almost reaching to the final part, which this 2 days national meet was, kind of expected a kind of an outcome, end result. So because we had a lot of discussions since yesterday, many people presented, their viewpoints, their understanding, their analysis of situation in their respective states and union territories. And in fact, there is a whole lot of issues in, kind of empowering Indian languages, and how do we really take it forward. I just want to recapitulate some of the important points raised by this August gathering, particularly in relation to 8th schedule, the languages listed in the 8th schedule. There are a couple of problems in empowering these languages, both in terms of the kind of due place given to them, while in terms of strengthening our governance, in terms of administration, in terms of judicial documents, judgments, and laws, customary services, and also kind of conducting the examinations for various courses, for various education professional courses. There were also issues raised in terms of there is a very serious limitation in terms of funding in support of these languages. Whatever adequate funds need to be provided. Of course, there are two categories within that 22 languages. One is the classical, and another one is the state language. So there were issues related to kind of funding, lack of support in terms of providing adequate funds. And also, like one could see a kind of a clear difference between scheduled and non-scheduled languages. You know, there are other languages also in their respective state, but this kind of difference is also in a way causing empowering all Indian languages. Of course, in some places it is almost leading to the extinction of very language itself. So, which is a very kind of a serious concern. There was also a serious concern raised in terms of hegemony of a language, or a particular language seen as kind of a language that could connect everyone. And also that kind of understanding itself is a myth. There is no such hierarchy within the languages. One is very kind of above some of these languages. So that understanding itself is a very wrong understanding. It's a myth. So we have to address, we have to work towards demystifying this understanding itself is also a very big challenge. Because we have not given whatever the due importance, particularly in relation to education, many friends have raised very important issues like how neglecting our languages is in a way leading towards commercialization and privatization of education, particularly the English education. So how it is really coming as a kind of a big impediment for developing and promoting our own languages, particularly in terms of imparting education in one's mother tongue. So that is also becoming but also there were kind of very good examples connecting how language is really an important tool, not just for kind of communication, but also for the national development. In that connection, one of the important points that was raised, how the Indian languages are helping us to contribute to the GDP itself. So there were some kind of very insightful kind of sharing that how the Indian, almost 83% of the Indian GDP is really coming from the Indian languages. So that is also a very important observations. We also kind of concerns about the closure of public schools because of these too much emphasis on English and English medium schools. So there is a big threat in terms of closure of private schools, and this goes against the very idea of education being a fundamental right under the Constitution, Article 21, capital A. Which was the result of 86th Constitutional Amendment Act 2002. So all these concerns, in a way, there was a kind of a unanimous, kind of understanding and also unanimous support. Yes, equal, respect and equal treatment should be given to all languages. Equality of languages is an important issue that we have to write. But nevertheless, let us work towards empowering these 22 languages in the 8th schedule, which is already there. So these languages should get kind of whatever due place that they are supposed to think. So with these notes, whatever that deliberations yesterday, and also based on the papers, notes shared by Clear. Based on their kind of long-standing work. There were many documents shared by Professor Joga Singh, and Sendil Nathan has also shared kind of many documents based on their work and all. So we tried, Kannada Development Authority tried to bring in all these elements as a kind of put together a kind of a resolution that could be placed before this August gathering for kind of for discussion, observations and comments, so that we can adopt that resolution as a Bangalore resolution or declaration, which will be a kind of a document that we will take it back to our respective states and union territories. And the purpose of this document is that we have to make a kind of an arrangement to release it on 21st of February, which happens to be the International Mother's Tongue Day, and also take measures to reach all the MPs, elected representatives of the parliament, who are in a way responsible for proposing that kind of an amendment to the constitution, because they are very, very important in terms of taking that resolution to the central government. If the respective MPs in the state, if they are able to reach to the honorable Prime Minister or the President, or other union ministers from their respective states through a kind of a written covering letter and enclosing the resolution, I think that will really generate some kind of pressure on the central government to take up this issue. So this is what very quickly kind of plan that we have for today. So we will just place the resolution for discussion based on all these points, and these resolutions, instead of again bringing all those issues that what we discussed, we want to make this resolution very simple and pointed towards bringing an amendment to the constitution. So we took the help of people who have kind of legal knowledge, which easily MPs or the legislatures can understand that kind of a long way. So that is the purpose. So I am very extremely happy to place this resolution for further discussions. I will just read out the resolution so that friends here who are participating physically and those who are there in the online part, they can take note of this resolution, and this is completely a democratic process. So if you have any comments, any observations, or any kind of amendments towards achieving this objective of bringing an amendment to the constitution, particularly Article 243 is the main objective of this resolution. So I place this resolution for the discussion of this August gathering and further any amendments, so that we can adopt and take it as one of the important outcome of these 2 days national meet. Datri, can you just display that resolution on the... Yeah. We, the members from all states and union territories working for the long wage rights, have come together to deliberate on the issue of achieving equality of long wage rights listed in the 8th schedule of our constitution. After 2 days deliberation, the group unanimously adopted the Bengaluru resolution to put pressure on the government of India to bring necessary amendment to the Constitution of India to resolve the long pending issue of moving forward and to uphold the core values of Indian Constitution. Draft Bengaluru resolution for discussion. Whereas ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಬನ್ನಿ.
Spaces, we need spaces or put all them together. We will bring back rows or put spaces in between.
Yeah. We will take those amendments and please make note of it. ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಬನ್ನಿ. ಇನ್ನು ಯಾಕಷ್ಟು ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಬನ್ನಿ. ಇಲ್ಲ ಇದಾಗಿದೆಯಾ, ಹೆಂಗಾಗಿದೆಯಾ? Yeah, we can all do all those technical things later. We need only the content kind of things. Yes. Draft Bengaluru resolution for discussion. Whereas the Union of India is composed of people who speak many different languages each with their own rich history inextricably linked to the culture of the people speaking such languages.
One minute.
Huh?
Network issue illama, correct ಆಗಿ.
Okay, we have given copies to all.
But online people need to read.
Sir, on.
Copies ಕೊಡಿ.
Sir, first you read, sir.
Ah.
Then listen. Online people are also.
Okay. Whereas the Constitution of India in the 8th schedule recognizes no fewer than 22 separate languages spoken in all corners of the country as an acknowledgement of the linguistic diversity of the Union. Whereas the Union of India is constituted as a union of states under the Constitution of India, where the federal character of the polity is a basic feature of the Indian Constitution. Whereas the Constitution of India guarantees equal opportunity for education and employment to all citizens of this country. Whereas the present manner in which the Union of India conducts entrance examination and qualification of examination for the educational institutions and employment under the Union doesn't adequately address the needs of speakers of all languages under the 8th schedule. That was one of the important points that we discussed yesterday that has been underlined. Whereas the fundamental right to free speech and expression includes the right to information about laws and rules made by the Union, a right which is defeated if such laws and rules are made in language inaccessible to the vast majority of citizens. This was also one of the important points we brought yesterday. It is therefore hereby resolved by this August gathering that the Union Parliament be called upon to amend the Constitution to recognize all the languages in the 8th schedule as official languages of the Union. The corrections you have to make note of it. Yeah. The Union Parliament be called upon to amend the Constitution to undertake to publish laws, rules, notification in all the official languages contained in the 8th schedule. The Union Parliament be called upon to amend the Constitution to guarantee the conduct of entrance examinations for educational institutions and examinations for appointments to positions under the Union in all official languages contained in the 8th schedule. The Union government be called upon to immediately publish all news, rules and notification in the languages of 8th schedule. The Union government be called upon to progressively publish all the extant laws, rules and notification in all the languages of the 8th schedule. The Union government and all its agencies be called upon to conduct all entrance examinations for educational institutions under the Union in all the languages of the 8th schedule. 7. The Union government and all its agencies be called upon to conduct examinations for appointments to positions under the Union in all the languages of the 8th schedule. The Union government and all its agencies shall, to the best of their abilities, to ensure that all services provided to people by the Union are provided in all languages under the 8th schedule. The Union government and all its agencies shall, to the best of their abilities, ensure that all speeches, announcements and notes issued by the government, Union government or its agencies shall be translated into all the languages under the 8th schedule. So to give effect to this, we are also proposing a simple amendment bill to the Constitution, that is the Draft Amendment Bill 2021. In the Constitution, for Article 343, the following article shall be substituted. 343(1), the official languages of the Union shall be all the languages mentioned in the 8th schedule to this Constitution along with the English language. The reason to put here English language, it may be very too early to, denounce English language. So let us say that all 22 languages are official and gradually we will move towards, and we need to make a lot of preparation. 343(2), the form of numbers to be used for the official purpose of the Union shall be the international form of Indian numerals. This was in fact raised by Professor Uma Maheshwar Rao. Number 3, all laws, rules and notifications made by the Union and from the date of coming into effect of this article shall be published in all the official languages of the Union as soon as they are promulgated. Number 4, 343 class 4, all laws, rules and notification made by the Union prior to the date of coming into effect of this article shall be published in all official languages of the Union with a reasonable period of time, because there are more than hundreds and thousands of legislations and rules. I think we should give the benefit of some kind of time. Number 5, class 5 of 343, all examinations conducted by the Union or any other authority gives a wider interpretation. Any other authority on behalf of the Union for admission into the educational institutions established by the Union shall be done so in all the official languages of the Union. Number 6, all examinations for the appointment to the services of the Union, including any authority set up by law made by Parliament, public sector enterprise, entity controlled and financed only out of the funds of Union or the Consolidated Fund of India, shall be done so in all the official languages of the Union. 7th, all orders issued by the President under the proviso class 2 of the article as it stood prior to amendment shall be deemed to include all the official languages of the Union in addition to the Hindi language. So this is the kind of amendment that we are proposing for the Constitution under 343. So I place this, both the declaration as well as the draft amendment bill for discussion. So we can, whatever suggestions, whatever amendments, of course, in terms of legal language and all, probably whatever we say, finally the legal department, the Union government will take care of the kind of language, legal language, how it should be placed, all these things, and they will come up with their own bill also before proposing an amendment. So this is in essence what we want from these 2 days national meet. So I open this resolution for discussion now. So any amendments, please go slowly so that our friend Dia can make corrections, necessary connection in the draft, so that we can take a final printout after our discussion. So thank you very much.
I think it covers almost everything. Just two things. One thing, most of the examinations to union government jobs and courses include English as essential subject.
Sir, sorry for the interventions. If you just read the document and if you just tell us what portion need to be amended in what way, so that it will help our friends, to make corrections then and there itself. Because we have in which part we have to change and what should be the point that we have to include there.
First of all, first para, I think we don't need to put the word put pressure. We should say plead. Plead to the government. We are not put pressure. Put pressure is not very, I think that's little unparliamentary kind. We are pleading.
I don't think putting pressure in English doesn't mean kind of anything, because usually when we say that as a resolution, either we call it as in fact there was a discussion while preparing that there is another word called we urge. Urge is much more kind of a stronger. We thought pressure is little. Yeah. Okay. Change. Please.
Emphasize.
Yeah.
To emphasize upon the government. Yeah.
Or we can say call upon the government.
Yeah,
call upon the government is also a good word. No, like this resolution need not legal. So call upon is also a decent word. we call upon the central government.
Strongly forward.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
See, this is point 3.
Sir, we will go para by para. Is there any correction for the para 1 now? Is
I
it
think
One by one?
Everybody speak and whoever wants to speak.
Okay.
Then
Take up first para, discuss that, and then go to the like that.
Sir, once the amendment is proposed and everyone agrees and I make the change, can I just repeat that this is the change?
Yes, like we have to take the consensus of the house. So whatever they have amended, if you have adopted and changed it, we have to read and tell this is the revised para. Okay. Yeah.
The first paragraph, the resolution to strongly call upon the government of India.
Okay.
Fine.
So the next thing is the last para on page 1. Whereas the Constitution of India in its schedule recognizing no fewer than 22 separate languages spoken in all corners of the country as an acknowledgement of the linguistic diversity of India.
Diversity of the union.
Okay, the schedule is there, no need to change anything. That's okay.
Sir, all okay?
Recognize that we should do recognize all the 20. It says where the Constitution of India in the 8th schedule recognize no fewer than 22 separate languages spoken in corners of the country as an acknowledgement of the linguistic diversity. But there are diversity beyond these 20.
No,
Okay, we emphasize, we are thereby emphasizing the 22 languages.
Yeah.
But I think this para should be framed in such a manner that it should be kept open that there are other languages also.
No. If you open it up, then automatically our purpose of reaching that, this purpose will be lost.
I think he is right.
Once it comes to
See.
8th schedule, automatically it will.
I'm not saying that we focus on language outside it, but in this para, there is a Constitution of India in the 8th schedule. Recognize no fewer than 22 languages. Some scope should be left for other languages also.
Or what we can do is, what we can do is,
Constitution recognizes 22 languages. That's all it is. That is the right. In the 8th schedule, the Indian Constitution recognizes 22 languages.
As an acknowledgement of the linguistic diversity. That's what I'm saying. As an acknowledgement of linguistic diversity. There's diversity beyond this. That's what I'm saying. Anyway.
What is it, sir? Please.
no, what I think suggested you put somewhere else of the country as official language of states. And then, no,
Which para, sir? Which para?
First one.
last one, there is one.
First page, last one. First page, last
Number
one.
22 is always a compulsory. Many languages can be.
Yeah, that is yeah.
So we can say that languages listed in the schedule list. So
That's
22
what
can
it
become
says.
40.
That's what we have said.
That's what it's.
Sir,
mentioned.
all languages in India is recognized in the first paragraph. The Union of India is composed.
Sir, the Constitution of India in the 8th schedule recognize no fewer than 22 separate languages spoken. All corners of the country and so, right?
Yes.
So instead of 22 languages here, I think it's sufficient that the languages listed under Asian law.
No, in what way it is different, sir? If we mention 22, that is the factual information.
That is,
Yeah.
tomorrow some more languages.
Let it be. As on today, when we are proposing the declaration, there are 22 languages. So if any number of languages can, kind of added to that schedule.
If they add another 2 tomorrow, it will be added.
That automatical thing is implied.
Implied.
Yes, sir. That is the because since we are proposing an amendment, whatever factual information, we will just, kind of put it as a kind of a preamble. See, for any bill, there is a objects and reasons and a preamble. So we will just place it as a factual information and any number of languages, another 22 can be added. But now we are not taking up that issue because that's altogether a different discussion.
Yeah.
Whereas the Union of India
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And next thing is on page 4,
Page
point 8.
4.8. Okay.
The union government and all its agencies shall, to the best of their abilities, to ensure that all services provided to the people by the union are provided in all the languages in the aids too. Why do we need to put the words to the best of their abilities?
So that is, kind of a legal language. We usually use that word, best of the, kind of abilities means, all measures need to be taken. That is,
If it is
essentially,
legally essential, that's okay, otherwise we don't need that.
Dia, in terms of drafting,
In terms of drafting, this kind of language is generally presented.
usually for any kind of amendments, we use that kind of a language, and we can, what we can do is put it in brackets. Later, we can, whether we can remove the, that phrase, best of their abilities.
It gives a lot of
Whether
room
we
for
can
any
remove
sort
that
of-
phrase,
Yeah.
whether that is really required there.
So in any case, this exactly is not the amendment. This
Yeah.
will be
Yeah.
the clauses which precede the amendment.
Yeah, but
So in such sub-clauses.
the idea is let us not feed into their, mouth. Okay, let us not feed. So that we will anyhow examine that. We will ask some constitutional experts.
And then the third page, point 3, about this ambition and examination jobs. The Union Parliament be called upon to amend the Constitution to grant the conduct of entrance examination for administration examination for permanent position in the Union in all the official language contained in English text. What's happening is at the moment, English is essential for all kinds of examinations. Do we need that essentiality? And it is essential in 2 ways. It is essential in 2 ways. But somewhere it is qualifying, just you have scored 33 or 35 marks and those marks will not be counted in the merit. And for some examination like the CSET movement or for this only, that English marks scored in English examinations are counted in the merit. I am of the view that essentiality of English should be taken out, but if that cannot be taken out, the marks scored in the English paper should not be counted in the
Not objection, but I would like to bring your notice. If the particular job is all India job, if the person doesn't have sufficient English knowledge, then we will come to Tamil Nadu as we speak.
No, but qualifying is okay.
No, how do you define? See, it is not, if the marks, whether it is a merit or not a merit, it's a qualifying or just a.
This harms the student.
Just using English, it doesn't matter. For me, if he doesn't have a minimum standard of English knowledge, the IAS officer will come to Karnataka and Tamil, then he will say, there are 2 official languages, I will use English. So this is happening everywhere.
That's why I am saying I should be qualified. English examination should be clear, but those marks should not be counted in while
Merit.
counting the
It
merit.
is not counted.
That harms the students from rural and poorer backgrounds.
If you are not going to count it, the current situation will continue.
No, he has to pass it. He has to pass the paper.
No,
The
what
paper
we
has to
try
be passed.
say is, if we
English-
qualify, suppose for 100 marks, for 35 or 50 is the qualifying.
Okay.
That means that we can able to communicate in English
Yeah.
fluently.
Yeah.
Only just qualifying, not the merit. It should not be
Yes.
added to the merit. If it added to the merit, our rural students.
Are not
Rural
getting
ones,
the
rural
chance.
ones, yeah. they
Are
are
not getting the
So
chance.
what I suggest is, we will have the very simple and overall terms now. This can be considered as an integrity of a particular examination. But my only concern is it should not be taken in other way. That there are 2 languages officially there and it will be either English
No,
or
2 languages.
it should not be.
No, we are talking about English
We are
only.
asking for 8 schedule, 22 languages.
All the
That's different.
country.
No, I am talking about the current situation.
No.
Currently, we are changing
Not
the
the medium, not the medium. English paper, part of the whole process. One English paper is there, not the medium. Medium will be the official languages, all scheduled languages. But English paper has to be passed and it should be qualified.
What amendment do you want?
What is that? We can add to which that and the English examination.
Page
should-
number 3, sir.
Page,
No, point
page
three.
3, point 3.
Point.
Point 3. You add that English paper should only be qualified.
I don't feel like, no, based on our, discussions yesterday, all of us were very vociferous in terms of how English is destroying, all our languages. Okay, let us also. So giving that kind of a very open.
Yesterday, most of the talks are revolving around the education aspect of the language. There are so many other aspects, including administrative
True.
jobs and everything.
No, that is the very purpose of this.
No, I understand.
Yeah.
Do we need that line to be explicitly written here?
Which one?
Definitely. Sorry. Definitely, we have to discuss about it.
Why?
No, what I am telling, see, whatever we are discussing, that will be taken care of by a phrase in the Constitution, along with the English language. That is the phrase used in the Constitution now, in the amended article. So whatever you are expressing, all these things will be taken care by this phrase.
No, but along with English language, that is for medium of examination.
No, sir, we are not just concerning only about, as he rightly said, of course, the point of discussion is education, medium and all. But this word, phrase, along with the English language, will be taken care of all other sectors, administration, judiciary, examination, because, see, I just want to, drive our attention. We are amending the mother law, that is the Constitution. And this is not the end. After this, we may enact a legislation to operationalize this. Just amending article is not the end. We will bring maybe legislation or rules or, kind of a thing. In those documents, we will start identifying the minute details, how it should be, what it should be.
That's okay, but you see, we should ensure that no particular language is given extra weightage.
No, you can write in that.
Yeah, that rules in the.
No language should be given any
Extra weightage.
extra.
Yes.
That can be done. That applies for everything.
Yeah.
But here, we don't really require it.
Not required.
Not the English.
Make it a note, and whenever the discussions come in parliament or anywhere, that has to be kept in mind that English should be qualifying only and not should not be given extra.
Not to the middle.
This bill would require the union government to set up a commission and then look into this one. And then they also invite different modifications and designs of the people again. So we need to propose only the kind of blanket kind of things.
This is correct now.
Yes.
Oh, we can put a clause for commission also, isn't it?
No,
In the
that can be
resolution,
done.
there is a clause for
That can be
commission.
done. We can urge the government to set up a new language.
No. Even
Demand
the
can be
government,
made.
see, whatever we wanted it, we will put it in this.
How is it?
You are
Our
asking-
real representatives are there, sir.
Now you are-
So this is, I understand.
you are directing them to do that.
It
That's
can
not
be
right.
as minimal and as generic as possible.
Yeah.
That's all.
Okay. And
You don't direct them so that they can have their.
So it reads well now. Yeah, go ahead, sir.
it is the penultimate, last but one, previous to last. The into should be in one word, not in and C. Into is one word in the last paragraph, 4.
Which one, sir?
4. All
Last page but one.
No, what is it?
There's several type of other type.
Into should be made into one.
Into is a one word, not in the
Into effect.
into effect, coming into effect. And then under below we need to put names and signatures of the participants.
Yes, sir.
And who are online, they are to be, we can collect electronically.
Yes, sir.
That's it.
Sir, anybody?
Otherwise, it finishes there.
I think.
May I say something?
Yes.
Small repetition, I think, in point number 3 and point number 6.
What is that, ma'am?
Conduct of entrance examination for educational institutions seems to have been repeated in point number 3. I don't know whether there is any difference here.
For appointments, in positions.
No, sir, entrance examination for educational institutions.
That is in
That
point
is
number
repeated
4.
again in conduct all entrance examinations for education
No, but
institutions.
this is for the services.
3 and
Madam, that
6
is
are
for
different.
appointment.
That is
This
for the
is for
appointment, this is for the service.
entrance exam, that means JEE, NEET, like that.
See, the word education institution is in both points.
In point number 3,
3 and 6, the
it
word
says, when it starts with the education, union government be called upon to amend the constitution to guarantee the conduct of entrance examinations for educational institutions. But later it becomes examinations
sir.
for appointments of
Yeah,
positions.
sure.
So that is coming in 6,
Yeah.
appointment of, so that portion can be removed.
Yeah, in the repetition.
Because point number 7, it says the union government and all its agencies be called upon to conduct all examinations for appointments to positions under the union in all the languages of 8th schedule. It is clear, 7. So the same as repeated in point number 3.
3
Is
and
it-
6 is repetition.
Is it because you
sorry.
have mentioned all its agencies?
Yeah.
Additionally, in point 6 and point 7.
When
In
the-
point 3, all its agencies has not been mentioned. But in 6 and 7, you have added this phrase, all its agencies.
in the draft, I will see that
Mamo class. Okay.
Part and Tamil is also in that way constitutional language, constitutionally accepted language. So when you are in Tamil Nadu, you should use Tamil. They said again no, only Hindi and English are the official languages.
Actually,
You have to use this has to be connected. Union government of India's Sarkari business is becoming a own of India. This has to be discussed.
But they don't say union government, they say it's
Union. No, now it is the India's official language. Now it is they said it is India's official language, then India's national languages. This is how the interpretation goes on and on.
Constitution says the official language of the union shall be union.
Yeah,
It is not the union government. It says union. It do not say union government. It says the official language of the union. It is not the official language of the union government.
If you take language of the Indian Union.
Right, but it actually refers to union government. If you take the official languages act, again they will if you take the official languages act, you can understand. It is always referred to union government. It is not the state. For example, then how come the Andhra Pradesh can have
The official language act is union.
It's not the union.
No. If the Hindi is the official language of union, Andhra Pradesh is part of the union only. How come that Andhra Pradesh can have another language?
It is part of the union, but it is not totally union. It's
No,
not a
no,
union.
I understand, but how come that can be interpreted? If it is the official language of the union, Andhra Pradesh having Telugu as the state official language is not constitutional.
State official language.
No, the union means union government.
Union means all states.
No, the official languages act clearly says this 76. This act, this rules, this document is applies to all of India except the state of Tamil Nadu. How is it possible?
it should be union government of India.
It's a union government of India. So it's a usage for the union government. So a private company cannot say that only the English and the Hindi is the official language of India.
Yeah, true, sir.
It should be
We
union
have to
government
discuss
of
this
India.
point in detail. It's interpretation only.
We have to see the definition also, sir, in the language, law act. What is the definition of union? We need, because all interpretations, whether we like it or not, go by the definition in the
Any rule that applies to the
legislation.
union applies to all states.
Is there
Any rule that applies to a
definition
particular state
in the language of union?
No, there is a contradiction in that
Sir,
statement.
ಅದು ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ವರ್ಷಾಪ್ ಮಾಡಿ
State government can have
they use always
ಅದು ಇದಕ್ಕೇನು ಸಂಬಂಧ ಇಲ್ಲ ಸೆಂತಿಲ್ಲ
So
ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ
any other proposals and
Yeah.
amendments?
Anyway,
Otherwise,
ಸೆಂತಿಲ್
I
ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಒನ್ ಡೇ ವರ್ಕ್ಶಾಪ್ ವಿ ನೀಡ್ ಟು ಡೂ ಫಾರ್ ದಟ್
that is true. No, that's a very important issue.
And sir, there are only two definitions in the
languages act. Tell me, what is it?
One, they define what is appointed day in relation to section 3.
Use the mic, use the mic.
Okay.
Use the mic.
Go a little slow.
On madam.
In the definition class.
So this is the Official Languages Act 1963. In Article 2, there are only two definitions. So the first definition, they define appointed day in relation to section 3 of the Act. And then what is Hindi? They said Hindi means Hindi in the Devanagari script.
Only two definitions.
Yeah, these two definitions.
Very interesting. Okay.
ಸರ್ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಗೋ ಲೀವ್ ಇಟ್
Okay. It should be union government of India. Now the important task is, in fact, whatever the list that we have.
What are the earlier words? The previous liberty in the constitution, union or union government? This is what
343.
union or union government of India.
Union. It's not government.
So put a small submission if you allow.
Yes, sir. Only one second.
I can understand this draft pointed towards the amendment of part of the constitution. But what I basically think is that if we have a different schooling system, one school system will emphasize on a particular language and another school will emphasize on a particular language. So can we bring up the Bhasha Commission recommendation of having a common education system in the neighborhood? So can we like put some light on that? If you allow, so I want to put some light on the Bhasha Commission who pointed out to have a common education system in the neighborhood so that they can learn in their own languages and all. So what do you think?
No, sir, we have been discussing the recommendations of the Bhasha Commission from last almost 50 years. And all of us have an agreement on at least 3 important points recommended by Bhasha Commission. One is the common school system that should all of us, in fact, have been associated with all India, different forums, Right to Education Forum, All India Forum for Right to Education, People's Campaign for Common School System. All these, campaigns in the last 3 decades, 4 decades, very clearly, demanding there should be a common school system. Okay, that is very clear. And another important point that is again and again raised is 6% of the GDP. That is the minimum. In fact, we are not even asking the accumulative part of that part. 6% was recommended in 1966. Even today, how much the union government is spending? No, it is wrong. Even this, what they are misleading, they are taking the average of states and union. In the budget is, earlier it was 3.8 and now it has come to 2.6. In terms of GDP, they are providing only 0.45%. 0.45. That's the reason in 1999, Tapas Majumdar Committee, when Right to Education was proposed, when a committee was appointed to estimate the task to implement the Right to Education, they recommended that 0.86% of the GDP, if you enhance, then you can provide good quality education to all children. So that was, so your idea of common school system is well accepted, sir. For that, what we need to do is, we need to demand the implementation of the Bhasha Commission suggestion, recommendation. So I completely agree with you. The common school system is very important. But today, the kind of political scenario where the people who are running the institutions, English medium schools, who are there, who they are? They are all MPs.
What it says, is taken care of by services law. The
Yes,
service
sir.
be provided.
Yes.
Then the education includes services. So if service is to be provided in the state's language, that automatically becomes the medium also.
To that extent, at least we will have some kind of commonality.
Services is there.
Yeah.
So what services is there, that covers all of the things. Except the
I
job
understand this reflect holistic point of view. I'm just thinking, could you please put some light so that it can reflect a bit indicating towards having a desire towards having a common school. I just want to see, is there any possibility to make a point where it can like reflect some our desire, our aspiration to have not directly mentioning about the Bhasha, but can we put some word so that it reflects the desire to have a common education system? It's just a simple solution.
No,
So I totally agree with this. So it's like.
Yeah, actually, your point is well taken, sir. But purpose of this particular thing is only to amend the official 43. What you are talking should come very, clearly in the policy document.
education
Yeah, policy
that comes under education.
Policy
This is not official language, it's services and official.
Let us focus on
I think this is the apex document what we are trying to address.
Right.
Policies and other things come below that.
Yeah. Now the important challenge is, as Professor Joga Singh mentioned, at the end of this resolution, you have to bring all the participants, both physical as well as online. So we can take signatures of all the participants who are here as an endorsement, and after that you have to say that this was approved by. You have to list all the participants who came through online. But somehow in the list, I'm little bit kind of skeptical that whether you have taken the names of people correctly, because particularly online, sometimes you have taken only the first name or second name. So Datri should help us to ensure, call them, how do we represent them? Let us not put wrong names there.
Send them an email, kindly send them an email asking their,
particularly to see the name part, whether we are representing them properly, because that is very important.
ಅವರಿಗೆ ಇದನ್ನ ಡ್ರಾಫ್ಟ್ ಬಿಲ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕಳಿಸ್ಬೇಕಮ್ಮ, ಕಳಿಸ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಅಪ್ರೂವ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಹೆಸರು
ಆಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಸರ್. ಹೆಸರುಗಳು ಕರೆಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ we have to send them, take approval,
and we have to release it on 21st, so everything should be complete before that.
No sir, now if no other comments on this, then now I request chairperson also, how do we go about for preparing ourselves for the 21st? So we will spend at least some time, because usually in all seminars we end up resolution, but we will always give less time for a plan of action. What is that we are going to do? So I think probably each one of us can share our thoughts, what can be done on 21st, how do we release it, and what will be the ways of reaching the MPs, whether we are also taking kind of some measures. Suppose if you have some union ministers within our states, whether we can reach them, we can reach them to meet the concerned person in the highest thing. So we can use all these things. So if you tell us, we will make some notes and we will exchange that.
Follow up steps.
Thank you, sir. We have Professor Jogani. No need for any introduction. Yes, thank you very much. Yeah. The request, is the support and kind of interest, show the commitment and all. It was something very nice. So thank you very much to move forward. Mostly, and so thank you very much for all your efforts and thank you very much. And we have a children no, we can use as a very good calculation. Not only participating, really, made us understand from your experience. So thank you very much. Keep it touch. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much. Started, was very local, like what we have taken is very.
Jogra, sir, thank you very much, sir, for participating. So thank you very much, sir. Certainly we will work together, sir. So please extend your cooperation. We have Anand. We have a special thanks to Mr. Anand because number one, the kind of assistance and also he was almost worked with us right from the beginning. So it's a great opportunity for us, to that, and certainly we will take this forward. We have Chandrasekhar Usha. Was with us right from the beginning, and we had many discussions at the chairperson's, office as well as things. I take this opportunity to thank him. No, it's already instrumental. Me. Thank you, sir. I think you just after me, you have pushing me out. I'm very part and parcel of KD. Yeah, I'm very out. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yeah. So it is my duty to thank all our staff, KDA staff, particularly Ratri, Raksha, and all other people who have great job. Lakshman, everyone, are responsible for making this event a grand success, and I apologize for them because I got their morning 7 o'clock. So thank you very much. A big, kind of applause for their thank you very much, Raksha. And all other things. We will have a good